both teams hosting is unique.
We get to show off how we do things, just like the University of Richmond will.
Two great venues, 6 miles apart.
It's time to take a shot and aim high, just to walk through the fire. This is our moment, this is our moment, so don't give it up.
This has been the most challenging season.
I have never broadcast a game remotely.
He was the one who convinced me to get into coaching.
He was an unbelievable leader, maybe the best I've ever coached.
A10 and RVA, Rams and Spiders Unite. Sponsored by the Virginia Lottery, reminding you to play responsibly.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special presentation of CBS 6 Sports. I'm Sports Director Lane Casadante here at the Robins Center on the campus of the University of Richmond.
And I'm Sean Robertson inside the Siegel Center, the home of the VCU Rams. Typically during this time of the year, you would find us in New York City, which has become the semi-regular home of the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. But Lane, the last year has been anything but typical.
As we all remember, last year's tournament at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn was canceled after just the first day of games due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 12 months later, most of the A10 men's tournament will be decided right here in Richmond. In a unique first, both VCU and U of R are co-hosting this year's tournament. 2 courts, 14 teams working towards one title. In just a few minutes, we'll check back in with Sean across town. But first, a behind-the-scenes look at how the coronavirus forced the A10 to get creative and come up with a novel concept for this year's competition. The Barclays Center in Brooklyn is a fantastic arena for basketball, but COVID protocols forced the A10 to look for another venue. Every school in the conference submitted a proposal, but when Richmond and VCU combined their resources and arenas, it made the most sense.
All of a sudden, we realized, we could have co-host, which was not our intention, but we could have co-host, and that way we could alternate and play game 1, 3 at one building and game 2 and 4 at the other building. That would automatically build in this extra hour needed to sanitize all of the common areas, but yet we could be tipping our game times on time.
So both the Siegel and Robins Centers would see plenty of action, making each school extremely proud to host the entire conference.
I think it's great for the league. It's a smart decision to make, and so we could really, help the A10 be safe with protocols and the safety of our players.
I think Richmond's a basketball town, a basketball city, and I think that's just another feather in the cap that we have 2 great venues 6 miles apart for high-level college basketball. Yeah, I think that's something to be very proud of.
But the tournament still faced challenges. Every program in the A10 has had to pause, and to ensure as many tournament games as possible are played before Selection Sunday, the tournament was moved up 1 week to allow for any other pauses.
Again, we don't independently in the league office. I don't just wave a wand and make a decision. The membership, discusses it, bets it, and then votes and decides to either make a change or not. And in this case, we felt like it was in the best interest of our league, quite frankly. It has not been easy. I think everyone will tell you. And I think the stresses on our student athletes are real, and our coaches. That's why we felt it was important to try to put the championship in as protected, controlled, and safe environment as we could.
Now, I wish we had our fans. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be like those CAA days in the Coliseum.
It is time for Richmond Spiders basketball.
I have never broadcast a game remotely.
And just because technology allows us to do something doesn't mean it's the best way.
Being a Division I college basketball coach in the middle of a regular season is tough enough, but being the tactical and emotional leader of a group of young athletes during a pandemic, that has forced head coaches like Chris Mooney and Mike Rhodes to come up with completely new ways of leading their teams, supporting their universities, and protecting their families.
It's 1A on our list every day, from testing, waiting for results of testing. How is the COVID results and the protocols going to affect our day, our next game, the next week? And you just had to, every day you just had to deal with it. And, as adults and we're the coaches and administrators, we're going to figure it out. But for the young guys, and they just want to play basketball.
This has been the most challenging season, probably for every coach. And this has been really challenging for us. Off of the heels of last year, everything being canceled abruptly. The best coaches feel is when they're around the players, and because they can see the effort and the energy at practice or the concentration at a film session, all those things feed off of each other. When you don't have that, when that's interrupted, that naturally increases your anxiety and your frustration.
No, I do think at times it brought the team closer, especially because we were younger and we're still trying to figure each other out as a basketball program, as a basketball team. Guys spending more time with each other, probably forced than in past experiences. So I think so, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think every time there is a test and the test results and the testing for the team that you just played, the testing for the team that you're about to play. Watching the days go by when you don't get to play a game, those things they're anxious times, and they're really difficult to manage because there are no real answers.
They're used to being courtside, up in the press box, or even in the locker room. So many fans live vicariously through the men and women who provide the play-by-play accounts of college basketball games. But this year, the voices of the Rams and Spiders were forced to watch some games on TV, just like the rest of us, while still doing their jobs.
Now let's send you courtside for the call of the game with Rodney Ashby and the voice of the Rams, Robbie Robinson.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are live, and it is time for Richmond Spiders basketball. Tonight, the Spiders are at Shavitz Arena on the campus of St. Louis University.
As it turns out, I was ahead of my time by calling Phillies games off of the TV when I was 10 years old. Who knew these years later it would come back to help me? I would say it's a double-edged sword as far as challenges concerned. It's a challenge to do this, but technology is enabling us to do this.
Well, the key is to make sure that the video stays in focus and on the screen. If the video goes out, we start to make up things about why the game was delayed.
It's also a challenge because technology is enabling us to do this. And just because technology allows us to do something doesn't mean it's the best way to do something. All things considered, I can't wait to get back into every arena in the Atlantic 10.
So here come the Spiders to midcourt for the deep three, and he bags it. Another three for Blake from right in front of Coach Travis Ford. I have never broadcast a game remotely. Every time I've ever been behind a microphone, it's been at an arena, at a baseball field, at a football field, in person, like emphasis on in person.
Gives it to Watkins. Watkins, a one-handed flush. Free throw circle, has got an open 18-footer. Book it. Waldman takes inside the paint, shoots, scores, and he's fouled.
I yearn for the day when we're sitting at University of Dayton Arena and there's 12,000 screaming fans and the band is blaring and we can't literally hear each other in our headsets. I miss the atmosphere of being in the arena and engulfed in everything that's going on courtside.
Tough contested jumper, good by Blake Francis from about 18 feet.
One of the few bright spots about doing a game remotely is my dad went into the hospital with an illness in early January, and I need to go down there with him and spend time with him in the hospital room. Now, normally in a normal year, I either A, would not have been able to go down there with him because I had a basketball game, or B, would have missed the basketball game to go down there with him. Because of the ability to do the game remotely, I was able to go down, spend the day with him in the hospital, and then that night, I would go to his living room, his little TV room in his house in Savannah, Georgia, set up all my radio gear, watch the game on his TV, and call the game that way, and no one knew any different.
In the Smith Center in downtown D.C., VCU on top 28-21, 7:32 to go first half. We'll be back with more after this.
That's the amazing thing about this. That's the amazing thing about what technology could do, is it allows you to have that kind of space and make it seem like we were sitting next to each other. And in this case, it allowed me to be with my dad during his hospital stay.
Coming up next, we go one-on-one with the head coaches of the Rams and the Spiders, Mike Rhodes and Chris Mooney. Stay with us.
For the VCU Rams, this year's tournament could not have worked out any better. Not only did they clinch a double bye, but they have a true home court advantage. But head coach Mike Rhodes says they're not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it much. Our guys know. I mean, all our guys are on social media. They read stuff. They all watch. We have a group that really watches a lot of basketball, so they know. Look, if you win your next game, you have a better chance. And that's sort of what, as a staff, we always talk about. Win the next game, it gives you a better opportunity to continue to play into March and through March. And, you know, that's not going to change around here no matter if we're in a pandemic or not.
It seemed like the guys kind of handled the pressure of February being step-up month pretty good as you get ready for the conference. Right?
Yeah, without a doubt, including dealing with injuries and dealing with, you know, losing a player. And you know, we have a player that's, you know, back home with his family right now. They've had a family tragedy, and we've had some things go on, you know, that's sort of out of your control. But I think our guys have done a really good job in February, making games very important, very meaningful, and stepping up and competing in them and finding ways to win. And, you know, I give them great credit for that. Well, the St. Louis win was a great win for our guys and confidence, and because of the adversity we were facing, probably the most proud one for me. Some of our road wins that we've had, 6 of our first 9 games in the conference were on the road, and pulling a bunch of them out. You know, I was really proud of the St. Louis game, but I love those road games. I love those road wins.
Things were looking pretty good for the Spiders heading into last year's A-10 tournament. They were the number 2 seed and had played just as well on the road as they did here at home. This year, they are just as good again, but they've taken a completely different path to get there.
Well, I actually think we have a strong resume, mainly based on our quad 1 wins, quad 1 and 2 wins road record. Now, how much they're going to take all those traditional points into account, I'm not sure. Is a road win as valuable this year as it was in the past? That could probably be debated, but I do feel like for our games, the percentage of teams we've played that are in quad 1 and quad 2 and to have a good record is very, very compelling. Yeah, Kentucky was really big. You know, they've turned out, you know, they're doing better now, but just to win at Rupp Arena against Kentucky, and, you know, they have 2 guys projected to be first-round draft picks. That's a huge win. Loyola Chicago was a great win, and that was one we added and played. You know, we flew to Vanderbilt and then went to Indianapolis and played 2 days later. So that turned out to be a great win. And, you know, this year especially, all of them are. I mean, but those 2 really stand out in my mind. The strangest feeling is when we finish warm-ups and we go to do the introductions, and, you know, everybody has kept the same energy and music for the introductions and video, and then there's nobody there to really appreciate it live. So I wouldn't say I'm used to it yet, and I don't want to get used to it because I'm anxious to get things back to normal, where we have fans and the energy in the building is great again.
If you didn't know they had been teammates for the past 4 years, you might not figure Jake Gilliard and Grant Golden to be as close as they are.
The friendship between VCU's head coach Mike Rhodes and assistant Jamal Brunt almost didn't happen.
One is a 6'10" mountain of a young man from Winchester. The other is a 5'9" defensive virtuoso from Kansas City. Jake Gilliard and Grant Golden are the long and the short of Richmond basketball, literally. But their connection off the court is just as strong as it is on.
If you didn't know they had been teammates for the past 4 years, you might not figure Jake Gilliard and Grant Golden to be as close as they are. But their friendship formed almost instantly as freshmen over an inside joke that still makes them laugh.
We didn't really talk that much, and then there was this one day in D Hall where an inside joke was made, and me and him were the only ones that thought it was funny. And he was rolling around on the floor in the dining hall laughing, and then it was that's where it started.
What's the joke?
It's an inside joke. You guys wouldn't understand it, but it was very funny.
They have gone on to be one of the most prolific duos that Spider basketball has ever seen. They have each scored well over 1,000 points, many of them coming off passes from one another. A sixth sense that each seems to have about the other's position on the court at any given time.
It's to the point now, especially when I'm trailing the play and we get into that trail where he goes backdoor when I dribble at him. I'm pretty confident at this point in my career that that's 2 points.
You know, I think they're super motivated to be great players. Therefore, they're in the gym a lot. They're talking basketball a lot.
They are also roommates off the court, which only helps their on-court chemistry.
I think we're both pretty basketball oriented. Life kind of revolves around it for sure. And we both kind of appreciate the way we play. So I think it just made it that much more easy to like each other off the court.
Golden admits Gilliard is the neater of the two.
It's not like I'm super sloppy. I'm sort of in that in-between area. So his neatness sort of brings me along a little bit.
Yeah, he tries. He tries.
And with some prodding,
Who's the better passer?
And a steal. Oh, look at this. Failure.
For a 6'10" guy, Grant's exceptional. Overall, probably Jacob's a little bit better passer.
Like, we run so many back doors, and I was just like, I feel like he just throws them blindly, you know what I mean? Like, just has to get lucky. And then one day I was guarding it in practice, and it like, I knew it was coming, I couldn't get my hands on it. And I was like, all right, maybe you know a little something about passing, you know?
He is a man who is very familiar with the inner workings of both the Rams and Spiders. Jamal Brunt spent a decade on the Richmond staff, but for the last 3 years, he's been an assistant right here at VCU.
I would just say he's very trustworthy and loyal.
One of your former players who you're close with, just wow. I mean, he's taken full advantage of life.
The friendship between VCU's head coach Mike Rhodes and assistant Jamal Brunt almost didn't happen.
I played at St. Francis Academy. We played at Archbishop Spalding. You know, this is the time before cell phones. The game was supposed to be played in the evening, but during the school day, we found out they moved the game ahead of time.
So I got there late. I watched pretty much the second half, and his team lost. And when he came out of the locker room, how upset he was that his team lost. Right then and there, I was like, I need this kid on our team.
After his standout career at Randolph-Macon, it was Rhodes that actually got Brunt into coaching.
He has a way of working on you, you know, over the course of time. So it wasn't one thing. It would just be, you know, little words here and there.
He was an unbelievable leader, maybe the best I've ever coached, one of the best I've ever coached. He got guys to do what they were supposed to do.
The bond between them has spanned from Ashland here to the River City and didn't waver even when Brunt was an assistant at Richmond and Rhodes was on Shaka Smart's Rams staff.
I don't think either of us fully understood the magnitude of the rivalry until you're in it. And so for us, it was just like, that's my old coach. Like, yeah, I want to beat these guys, but that's my old coach.
Brunt has had success in the Atlantic 10 tournament, winning a conference championship with the Spiders in 2011, and hopes he can do the same with Rhodes this season at VCU.
I have a memory of, you know, winning a championship with him as a player at Randolph-Macon, a tournament championship, and so to have it come full circle and have the opportunity to do that and do it in Richmond, it would be tremendous.
All I know is win. All I know is win.
The bracket for this year's A10 men's basketball tournament is finally complete. Here's a look at who will be playing when.
The first 2 games of the tournament will be played right here at the Siegel Center starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Both games will be seen on ESPN+.
Thursday and Friday's games will be on the NBC Sports Network, while Saturday's semifinals will be on the CBS Sports Network.
And the championship game will be played in Dayton, Ohio on Sunday, March 14th at 1 p.m. right here on CBS 6.
We want to thank everyone for watching tonight. We look forward to covering all of the action both here at the Robins Center
and down here at the Siegel Center. For everybody here at CBS 6, I'm Sean Robertson.
And I'm Lane Casadante. Have a great night, everyone, and enjoy the tournament. So long.
Thanks for watching A10 and RVA, Rams and Spiders Unite. Sponsored by the Virginia Lottery, reminding you to play responsibly.